Hi guys, I hope that you're all doing really well. So today I wanted to do a video on some new fragrances in my collection that blew me away. Now I like to do this video every couple of weeks/months or so, depending on how many new fragrances I've added to my collection. I like to share with you guys the ones that really just stood out to me. So some of these fragrances were sent to me and some of them I purchased with my own money, but I wanted to compile this list together and share with you guys some outstanding fragrances that I recently added to my collection. Not all of them are new releases. Some of them are actually older releases, but I've just added them to my collection now. But nonetheless, I wanted to share them with you guys today. And this list is amazing, you guys. Like, I'm really excited to talk about them. The first fragrance I cannot stop wearing. I was sent this fragrance a couple of weeks ago and I am just in love with the scent. I have made a few videos about it on TikTok and a lot of people have bought this fragrance because of me and purchased like samples to try it. And I don't think I've had one person tell me that they don't love this scent. This is Love-O-Matic from room 1015. This has quickly become my absolute favorite fragrance from room 1015. Way above Cherry Punk, Sonic Flower, 1015. This is my #1 from the brand. I am in love with this scent, you guys. If you have not tried this fragrance yet, you really have to. Now, this fragrance is inspired by a laundromat, so it really has that laundry detergent vibe going on, but it is the best interpretation of laundry detergent that I have ever tried. It is incredible and it actually makes me so nostalgic. So Love-O-Matic to me smells like a laundry detergent from the early 2000s. I think that that's why it makes me so nostalgic. Whenever I smell this fragrance, whenever I wear it, I literally feel like sick with nostalgia when I wear this scent because it is just so reminiscent of, I don't know, like the scent of the early 2000s laundry detergents. It is absolutely incredible. So what you get with the scent is something very soapy, clean, musky, but there is also this really addictive, subtle sweetness going on. You have a bubblegum note in here and you also have, I think, some blackcurrant maybe or some sort of berry, but it doesn't smell like very sweet and sticky or anything like that. This is really like a laundry detergent fragrance with a soft addictive sweetness. It is the best that I've ever tried. It's super clean and bright and musky and fresh. Like, smelling this fragrance, I'm like addicted to it. There is something incredibly addictive about this scent and I'm just absolutely head over heels in love with this fragrance. I cannot say enough good things about it. I have the fragrance from Frederic Malle that was a collaboration with Acne Studios. That fragrance is also inspired by like laundry detergent, that sort of vibe. But I will be honest with you guys, I much prefer Love-O-Matic. I still really love the Acne Studios. However, it feels much more floral. There's definitely more of a floral vibe in the Acne Studios. There's definitely more of like a dryness to the scent. And also, how would I kind of describe the differences? More floral, more dry, and maybe like sweeter, I would say. Whereas this is more like clean, like it really smells like freshly washed clothes with this beautiful laundry detergent. So I really recommend this. I will tell you guys though, the longevity and projection is not outstanding. If that matters to you, then I will tell you this one doesn't last that long. It's probably around the 5-hour mark with a softer projection, but I don't care. Like, this fragrance is absolutely outstanding to me and I really, really recommend you check it out. If you like that really squeaky clean laundry detergent, this is the best fragrance ever. Next up is a fragrance that I bought with my own money and it is probably the most expensive fragrance I have ever purchased. It makes me like sick to my stomach because it really was like, I think the most expensive fragrance I have purchased, but I love it and I have wanted this fragrance for a really long time. This is Stellar Times from Louis Vuitton. Now, this fragrance is really captivating. I don't hear a lot about this fragrance online. I'm not sure why, but it is absolutely gorgeous. I have tried the other fragrances from this collection from Louis Vuitton, and for me, the best is Stellar Times. This is an incredible, slightly floral ambery, woody fragrance, but it feels really transparent, almost airy in a way. The woodiness is not this kind of dark, deep, rich woodiness. It's this very airy, ambery, woody vibe that's going on. You also have an orange blossom note in here, but it does not smell realistic. Like, I just want to tell you guys that right now. The orange blossom facet here smells kind of, I don't know, like it doesn't smell like a photorealistic orange blossom to me whatsoever. It's more like a really subtle kind of orange blossom vibe mixed with this beautiful kind of dry, airy, ambery woods. It's an incredible fragrance, you guys. There's also a very soft, addictive sweetness, but on the skin, this fragrance is captivating, and it kind of gives me a vibe of something like Alien from Mugler. Alien is this really interesting, like woody, ambery, jasmine fragrance that feels super unusual and special and unique. Stellar Times kind of gives me that vibe where there is that floral aspect, but you also get this really interesting ambery, like woodiness going on as well. So I'm not saying that they're the same. They do not smell the same at all, but I'm just telling you guys, like, the same like addictive character I get in Stellar Times. So this is a beautiful fragrance. I don't know if it's worth the price tag necessarily. I bought it, so it's too late anyways. I'm definitely gonna wear the fragrance, but I'm just telling you guys, I'm not sure if it's worth the money. Unless you absolutely adore this fragrance, then I would say go for it, but definitely not like a blind buy safe, definitely not something I would recommend to everyone, but try it if that appeals to you. It is a beautiful fragrance from Louis Vuitton and definitely more on the underrated side. Okay, so the next fragrance is a scent that has been on my wish list for a really long time. Another really expensive fragrance, if I'm being honest with you guys, but it is so gorgeous. And in Dubai, I can find this for a very good discounted price. This is Oud Extrait from Maison Kurkdjian. This fragrance is a masterpiece. Like, in my opinion, Oud Extrait from Maison Kurkdjian is a masterpiece. There is something so opulent, rich, just stunning, captivating about this scent, and I have like no words to describe this fragrance. The oud in here is so beautifully done, mixed with a lot of vanilla. I definitely get this really smooth, not overly sweet vanilla. You also get a little bit of like a musky kind of amberette, so there's like a sweet muskiness going on, but really the star of the show here is the oud. It feels like this really rich, warm, woody, smooth oud mixed with a lot of vanilla, the muskiness, a little bit of like a kind of balsamic touch as well. There's definitely like a balsamic edge to the fragrance, and it is just so opulent, so beautiful, and so rich. Like, I'm not saying like rich in like the money way. I'm talking like the character of the scent is so rich and dense and opulent. It is outstanding, you guys. I do not think this will be everybody's cup of tea because the oud is really like the star of the show here. It's not animalic. It's not like a fecal kind of oud whatsoever, but the oud is very present here. So I'm not sure that this would be for everyone unless you do really like a more woody, oudy type of scent. But it is outstanding. If you're somebody that likes a more complex fragrance, something a little bit more unique, you like something a little bit challenging, I would really recommend checking this out. I have never smelled anything like this, and I've also never smelled anyone that I know wearing a fragrance like this. I've never come across it before. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I definitely recommend it. Oud Extrait from Maison Kurkdjian. I also recently got Oud Silk Mood and Oud Cashmere Mood. Those two are absolutely beautiful as well. I feel like people only really know Oud Satin Mood because it's the most famous, it's the most appealing, like mass appealing from the collection, from the Oud collection from MFK. But if you're somebody who likes a challenging scent, you want something really unique and special, try the other fragrances from the Oud collection because honestly, like, this fragrance is outstanding. It's also a beast. It lasts forever on the skin. A nice, like, kind of projection within your arm's lengths, but it's just an outstanding fragrance. Really recommend it. I'm not sure if I already mentioned this scent. I think that I did, so I'll quickly go through it. But this is Fico di Amalfi La Riserva from Acqua di Parma. So this was launched alongside Arancia di Capri La Riserva and also Myrto something. I have both of those, like I have the other two. But my personal favorite is the Fico di Amalfi La Riserva. I love the original Fico di Amalfi from Acqua di Parma. It's much more splashy, much more light, much more of like the eau de toilette kind of vibe, like very airy, playful, light, splashy. The Fico di Amalfi La Riserva is a lot more dense, more creamy, more warm, more rich, more sweet. And I find this scent to be so incredibly addictive. There is something about it that when I wear it, like I feel like it's like an addictive bubble around me, and I'm just absolutely in love with this scent. Now, it does smell like similar to the original. However, they've made it like I said, more dense, more sweet, more creamy, more woody, more warm. And I just love this fragrance. This is coming with me on vacation this summer because I do really like to take like something a little bit more like Mediterranean vibe with me for the summer. And this is going to be the fragrance for that. I love it. I actually got a compliment when I met with a friend of mine for lunch. We like hugged each other and we both complimented each other's scent. And I was wearing this fragrance when I saw her. So really beautiful fragrance. The longevity projection is definitely like improved from the original. This is going to last on your skin around 6 to 7 hours, I would say, with a softer projection. But it is a gorgeous fragrance. Definitely recommend it, especially if you like fig. Maybe if you like fragrances like Gris Charnel from BDK, you might like this one. Even the original, if you like the original, try this one. It's definitely more of a rich version. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. I feel like you cannot go wrong with Acqua di Parma in the summer. Like Fico di Amalfi, Arancia di Capri, Buongiorno, like those are such good summer scents. The next fragrance that I have here is definitely more of like a warm, ambery, like more of a sweeter, more richer fragrance, but it really blew me away. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I think quite a lot of you guys might like this one. It is Caden from Ormonde Luxury. Now, I think Oman Luxury is a really beautiful brand. It's definitely more of an underrated brand, I would say. Obviously, it's from Oman, so they use a lot of like frankincense, a lot of saffron, a lot of oud, etc. Caden is their newest release, and when I smelled it for the first time, I was blown away. So this fragrance has that kind of like Jordi Fernandez DNA, is what I call it. Because I feel like Jordi Fernandez, he's really good at creating scents like this, like a warm saffron with some edible touches. I don't think the perfumer is Jordi Fernandez, by the way, but I just call it that type of scent. But Caden is this gorgeous gourmand saffron fragrance, like absolutely outstanding, you guys. If you like that type of scent, like Venezia 21 from The Merchant of Venice, you need to try Caden. This is probably the best that I have ever tried, and I don't say that lightly. I tried a lot of those gourmand saffron fragrances. They're really big here in the Middle East, so I've tried a lot of them. This is one of the best that I tried. It's incredible. It's a lot of saffron, but it's rounded out with so much gourmand and interesting facets. You have coffee in here. You have, what else, like a boozy note. I definitely pick up a little bit of a boozy note. I also pick up a subtle bread-like facet, like a malt kind of vibe from the scent. The saffron is there, but it's super smooth and well done. It doesn't smell too smoky or leathery or harsh. It's in a very smooth way. Maybe you have some suede in here. There's a lot of gourmand touches. Like I think you have vanilla, tonka, etc. So it's very warm, sweet. Like I said, a little bit of a bread-like facet. You definitely feel the saffron. It is outstanding, like absolutely outstanding. This is not really a summer fragrance. Like I'm not going to be wearing this like now, this time of year, but when the fall and winter approaches, like absolutely I'll be wearing this scent because it is outstanding. I have worn it twice since getting it just to test it out. The longevity and projection is nuclear. This lasted on my skin around like 9 hours with a really good projection. Beautiful fragrance, you guys. If you like a gourmand saffron type of scent, please try Caden. It's definitely one of the best that I've tried. This, again, I find this fragrance really hard to describe. This is another fragrance from Louis Vuitton that I recently got. This is Pure Ambre. Again, this is a scent that I feel like is super underrated from Louis Vuitton, and I don't know why. I feel like this is such an appealing scent. Pure Ambre. I don't know what I was expecting from the name. Actually, I do. I was expecting something very rich, a lot of like lab denim, something really warm, ambery, maybe smoky, sweet. That's not this fragrance. So Pure Ambre from Louis Vuitton. This is such an interesting scent. Now, it's up to you, like whether you think it's worth the price point or not. I cannot tell you like what is absolutely worth the money and what is not. That's not my job to tell you guys. It's your job to figure out whether you think it's worth it or not. This is an expensive fragrance. I'm not sure if I would personally say it's worth it, but the scent is really interesting. Now, what you're gonna get here is ambroxan, a lot of ambroxan, but I can't figure out what this fragrance is doing. Like, it almost feels like it's not like an ambery scent to me. There's not this like warm, ambery, like lab denim vibe. When I think of amber, that's what I think of. I think of Serge Lutens Ombre Sultan. Like, I think of something warm, rich and ambery. This is almost fresh in a way. It has a really like light, airy, like kind of playful, like aroma chemical vibe to it. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but it has this really like translucent, transparent vibe. It does have like an amberiness, but in more of like a fresh way. There is also a little bit of an addictive sweetness going on. Almost something a little bit like Baccarat Rouge in a way. Don't hold me to that. I'm not saying that they're similar, but kind of that same sweetness in Baccarat Rouge I'm picking up here. There's also a freshness, like there's definitely some sort of freshness going on mixed with that nice like dry amberiness. It is really beautiful, really addictive, really catchy. But it was not what I was expecting at all when I saw the name Pure Ambre. I was thinking of something else, but I think that this is really interesting. I'm sure if more people tried it, this would maybe be a scent that would go viral because it really has that catchy, almost like Baccarat Rouge quality to it. I'm not saying that they smell the same. I'm saying it has that quality. There's a kind of addictive ambery sweetness, but it's very airy and like it's kind of the scent that you go anosmic to in a way. Beautiful fragrance. I have been loving this one to layer with. I've been putting on like a specific fragrance, going over the top with Pure Ambre. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but I have been using it as like a layering tool almost, and it is absolutely incredible. Really incredible fragrance. Okay, the next fragrance is another underrated gem of a scent. Absolutely incredible, like absolutely incredible. I love this fragrance like so much. This is the Empire from Mizensir. Now, this fragrance is so slept on. It is incredible. If you like a classic, fresh citrus type of scent, something that is like a really classic DNA for a citrus fragrance. This is one of the best that I have. Again, I know I'm saying like the best, but this is really one of the best that I have tried. Oh my goodness, you guys, like, oh my goodness. This has been on my wish list for quite some time, probably about 8 months or so. I am in love with this fragrance. It is so beautifully done. One of the most beautifully balanced fresh fragrances I have tried. You have some mandarin, petit grain, angelica, some other citruses, some florals, woods, ambers. It is just spectacular. Now, I don't think it will be everyone's cup of tea because it has a little bit more of a classic DNA. Because of that kind of petit grain, neroli vibe, it does have a little bit more of a classic sort of scent to it. And I also think that this would maybe appeal to men more than women. But I recently got this into my collection and I'm just blown away by it. Like, yes, maybe a lot of people would think that this is just a normal fresh fragrance. It's not interesting at all. And that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. But I wore this on the skin. Also, Pierre's wore this on the skin. And the evolution of the fragrance is so beautiful. And for some reason, this fragrance lasts a long time on the skin. I'm not sure what like Alberto Maria's did in the base of this scent, but it has this gorgeous evolution. The base is almost slightly addictive and it lasts a really long time on the skin. I just love this fragrance. I really think it is an outstanding citrus scent. Very classic, timeless, fresh, uplifting, bitter, but then the dry down becomes a little bit ambery, a little bit addictive. Incredible 10 out of 10 citrus fragrance in my opinion. So this is Vert from Mizensir, a very long lasting citrus fragrance, at least in my experience, and it is absolutely a 10 out of 10 for me. So the next fragrance I only very recently got into my collection, and I think it is absolutely gorgeous. If you like gourmand fragrances, I would really recommend trying this one because it smells to me like an elevated gourmand. This is Kingside from Mind Games. So this is the bottle here. Now, I think that this one maybe is more targeted towards men. However, I would say that this fragrance is unisex, absolutely unisex, and very much a gourmand. So what you're gonna get with Kingside is a very nutty gourmand fragrance. You have pistachio, hazelnut, almond. It almost as well has that kind of red-like quality going on. It's very nutty. I want you guys to know that. Like, this is a very warm, nutty, creamy, smooth, sweet gourmand scent. The reason that I think it's so beautiful is because it feels more elevated. This is not a sticky, very, very sweet, sickly gourmand. It is more of like an elevated gourmand. Once again, it feels quite well balanced. All of those kind of like nutty notes smell super addictive in here. It's very smooth. It almost has a bit of a creaminess. There is the sweetness, but again, it's not like a sticky sweetness. It's more of like a muted sweetness, and it is just spectacular. I only wore this fragrance one time, so I don't have much experience wearing it because I only recently got it, but I do think that this is a beautiful, elevated gourmand, and I know a lot of people do love gourmands still to this day, so I wanted to talk about it in this video. Gorgeous, gorgeous release. I also tried Queenside from Mind Games that was released with this fragrance, but I think that Kingside is better in my opinion. So really beautiful gourmand fragrance that feels really elevated. Definitely recommend checking it out if you like gourmands, of course. Okay, so the next fragrance is one that I purchased recently from Byredo. If you are somebody that thinks that Byredo fragrances are boring, let me introduce you to 11th Hour. This fragrance is absolutely outstanding. It is so unique, catchy, interesting, trendy, cool. It is incredible, this scent. I also recently bought 1996, which I could technically put in this video as well, but I just wanted to talk about one Byredo today. This is amazing. What you have in 11th Hour is Sichuan pepper. So the opening feels quite spicy, like a little bit of that spice that kind of tickles your nose. Then as it starts to settle, you're getting some fig. The fig here is not overly green, overly like leafy in a way. It's more of like a dried fig, like a dehydrated fig with a booziness. You also have some tonka. It is absolutely incredible, you guys. Like, I would say what you get is a spicy, dry, boozy fig. It is absolutely incredible. It's not super creamy to me. Like, the fig here doesn't feel like this really creamy, like warm fig. I'm more getting like a dried fig with a spice and some booziness. And it is just so cool. A show-stopping fragrance, really trendy. Like I said, if you're somebody that thinks that Byredo just makes like fresh and clean scents and that's it, you need to try 1996, 11th Hour, and maybe Slow Dance as well, I would recommend. But this fragrance is outstanding. But you have to like fig, you have to like something more unique, a little bit more of an interesting scent to appreciate this one. Like, I don't think it would be very mass appealing at all. This is more of a unique fragrance, but it really blew my mind, and I definitely recommend checking this one out. It is gorgeous. Another fragrance that I find really hard to describe, I recently got it into my collection. I am obsessed with this scent. It's really addictive to me. I love it. This is Ambre Royale from Ormonde Jayne. This fragrance, you guys, is gorgeous. I have wanted this scent for quite some time. I love this fragrance, but it's another fragrance that I find quite hard to describe. Again, Ambre Royale, I'm thinking rich, warm, lab denim, cozy, ambery. No, this is so peculiar, but in the best way possible. It smells, again, very airy. There is a sweetness, there is an amberiness. It's quite transparent, but I'm also picking up like a floral aspect here. I think what you have in here is osmanthus, so there's quite a prominent like osmanthus note, but it's just so interesting. I'm getting a bit of freshness, an airy ambery vibe, a little bit of a sweetness, a kind of weird floral aspect that perfectly complements the amber in here. It is amazing, like really addictive, captivating, an amazing fragrance that is going to make you stand out. Like this, I've never smelled anybody that smells like this before, and it is fantastic. I've worn it about 4 times since recently getting it. I wore it to the mall, I wore it like around my house, I wore it to go out. It is an outstanding scent. I am really addicted to this fragrance right now, and it is incredible. Like it's not even a recent Ormonde Jayne release, it's quite an old release actually, but I've always wanted to have this scent in my collection, so I'm really, really happy to have it. It also has a really nice longevity and projection. On my skin, I get around 7 hours of really good wear with a nice arm's length projection. So definitely recommend this one. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely try it, because Ormonde Jayne have some beautiful releases. Ambre Royale is an older release, but I think it is like 10 out of 10. That is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed hearing about some like new, really incredible fragrances in my collection. So yeah, let me know what you think, and if you've tried any of the fragrances that I mentioned, I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you guys so much. I will see you soon. Bye.